You know, twice in Mark 15 we read that Pilate was amazed at Jesus. So for instance, in Mark 15:5, the Bible says, but Jesus made no further answer, so Pilate was amazed. Pilate was amazed. Later in the chapter, when Joseph of Arimathea comes, Joseph will come and he'll ask Pilate if he could have the body of Jesus to take care of it. And in Mark 15:44 we read, Pilate wondered if he was dead by this time, and summoning the centurion, he questioned him as to whether he was already dead. Pilate wondered. So that word wonder is obviously a synonym to the word amaze, and actually in the Greek text it's the same root word used in both places. So as you step back and you think about these two statements, we see that as Pilate considered how Jesus lived, Jesus gave no answer to the accusations that were leveled against him, and the response that Pilate made was that Pilate was amazed. Right? It struck Pilate. But though Pilate was amazed at the way Jesus lived, Pilate's amazement did not affect the way he proceeded to live the rest of the day. Right? Pilate's amazement at Jesus didn't change the way that Pilate lived. And then again, as you think about that second reference, when Pilate heard of Jesus' death, he wondered if it was so. Other translations talk about Pilate's surprise. He was surprised at this. So Pilate was surprised at Jesus' death. Pilate was wondering or in wonderment at Jesus' death. There was a sense of amazement at Jesus' death. And yet that amazement at Jesus' death didn't affect the way that Pilate lived. So being amazed at Jesus' life, being amazed at Jesus' death, it's not the same thing as biblical faith. But amazement falls short of belief. Biblical faith affects how we live. Biblical faith impacts and affects how we talk. Biblical faith will affect our emotions. It affects what we watch. It'll affect the jokes that we tell as well as the jokes that we listen to. Biblical faith is simply all-encompassing. Biblical faith touches on every area of our lives. Now, I certainly hope that you are amazed at Jesus. I hope that as you think about who he is and what he does, that you are struck with wonder. But more than amazement, I want you to entrust yourself, body and soul, to Jesus. Because that's what biblical faith is.